Okay. Good evening, everyone.
This meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's meeting. I'm Toastmaster SA, and I'll be standing in as the Sergeant at Arms to welcome all of us to today's meeting. This is Pecten Toastmasters Club, and today's meeting is themed Dreams and Ambitions. We'd first like to welcome all our guests, old faces, members of our clubs and other clubs who have joined us today. There is a quote by Farshad Asl that says, "When your ambition is greater than your fears, your life will get bigger than your dreams." This is Pecten Toastmasters Club, and we would now like to read the Toastmasters promise. You do not need to unmute your mic. You can stay muted while you read along. Toastmasters promise. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to provide for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring members to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. I would immediately also take Pecten Club mission statement. Our mission is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. I would now like to call on the virtual lectern for her opening remarks, the president of Pecten Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Tari Adebisi. Over to you, ma.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me and you can see me. Okay, good evening, everybody. Glad to have you all on the call. For those who have joined early, I hope everyone is doing great. I hope you're in a safe environment as well. So this is another meeting. This is our second meeting for the month of May, and our theme for today's meeting is dreams and ambitions. I hope you can hear me good. So I can't even...
Yes, we can.
Yeah, great.
Very
okay,
well.
Good. Thank you. Dreams and ambitions. I'd like to ask each of us on the call, do you think both words mean the same thing? I mean, some people can say, my dream, this is what I dream to become. And in their minds, they're actually talking about ambition, But do you think they're the same things? You can put in the chat box for me. I'd like to know that I'm engaging with real life human beings and not aliens. Are they the same thing? Dreams and ambitions, are they the same thing, do you think? Or you can unmute and speak if that's faster for you. Are they the same thing? Is there a difference between a dream and an ambition? Or you think that they may mean the same thing, one can interchange the other? Okay, so no response. Hello, everyone.
I feel like they are not the same thing, but I don't know the difference. That just sounds like the right answer.
Okay, you feel they're not the same thing, but you don't know the difference. Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Tosin. It looks like it's only you and I here, and at least I can see Effie anyway, so I know she's here as well. So dreams and ambitions, for me, I didn't check the meaning of either word, right? But off the top of my head, I feel a dream is what everyone has. Everyone has a dream to be something or to go somewhere, that's a dream. But ambition is something that is quite different. If you're saying you're ambitious in this area, it means this is what you want to achieve. And I think there's a lot of work that you put into achieving that thing you want to achieve, and that's where the ambition is. For me, that's the difference. So you could dream, everyone can dream, but I don't think everyone has ambition in that. I don't think everyone is putting in the work to become who or what they want to become. So our theme today, I mean, we're going to be talking about all this. I believe we're going to have a very vibrant, especially a very vibrant table topic session, where I hope this title, this theme actually will come to light. So I want everyone to sit back, relax. This is a meeting, in as much as we try to keep up with the Toastmasters, what Toastmaster embodies. We also don't want people to be so tense that they're unable to speak. Everyone here is learning. Nobody here is perfect. Nobody here has reached the zenith of whatever a Toastmaster should be. We're all here like iron sharpening iron. So please use the chat box, engage each other. When it's time for you to speak, please unmute and speak, engage each other, engage me, I mean, privately or publicly if you may. We are here for you. We are here to have a great meeting. We are here to, most importantly, take something out of this meeting that will actually be of benefit to our lives. So I hope everyone is ready, and here we go. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Essay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tari, for that beautiful way of teeing off in today's meeting. I am delighted to introduce myself, Toastmaster Essay. I will be serving as your Toastmaster of the day in today's meeting. The role of the Toastmaster of the day is to serve as an anchor throughout the meeting. An average Toastmaster meeting comes in 3 phases. There is the table topic session where we have speakers speak off the cuff. We usually encourage guests to participate in this session. Next, we have the manual speeches where we have registered Toastmasters members who give speeches according to their pathway. And finally is the evaluation session, because in Toastmasters, we grow via receiving feedback from seasoned Toastmasters like us. I'm not going to be working alone. I am delighted to be introducing my team of role players in today's meeting. The first role player I'd like to call on the virtual lectern to introduce the rest of our team is our general evaluator. Our general evaluator today is Toastmaster Grace Peter, and she is currently the president of Uyo Premier Speakers Club. She is on the effective coaching pathway. Her hobbies include fashion, she's a fitness enthusiast, and she likes to travel. Her favorite quote is by renowned horror fiction writer Stephen King, and it says, "Get busy living or get busy dying." Please put your hands together as we welcome on our virtual lectern, our general evaluator, Toastmaster Grace.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster of the day, for the warmth in your introduction. Kindly confirm you can hear me, please.
Yes, we can.
Brilliant. Thank you for that feedback. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I would like to welcome you to today's meeting. I can assure you that today's meeting promises to be exhilarating. I will not be working alone. I will be working with some Toastmasters who will be giving evaluation at the end of the meeting. So the work of the general evaluator, would I say, is an easy one? Maybe we'll get to find out about that. I will be evaluating what goes on in this meeting and what doesn't go on in the meeting. And I will be back at the end of the meeting to give my report. Definitely, I will not be working alone. I'll be working with other persons. I'd like to call up the grammarian to come tell us what her role entails. The grammarian, okay, thank you. The grammarian is none other than Toastmaster Ekwuchi Joy James. She is a biomedical scientist and data analyst. She's the vice president membership of Pecten Toastmaster Club. Her path is Persuasive Influence Pathway. Her hobbies are making money, traveling, spending time with families, and watching interesting shows. I'd like to know what her favorite show is. Her favorite quote is, "Whether you think you can or you can't, you are right," by Tom Ford. Toastmaster Joy, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. I love that I'm seeing you a lot in meetings as General Evaluator. I think this is a sign I need to come to you to get coached on how to be an award-winning General Evaluator. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. It is my pleasure to be in today's meeting acting as in the capacity of the grammarian. Today, I have a 2-part role. First would be to introduce the word of the day and look out for the proper use of that word. throughout the course of the meeting by everyone that comes on the virtual lecture to speak. Second part would be to look out for proper and improper use of grammar. As Toastmasters, part of our training here is to ensure that we use grammar properly. We want to be seasoned Toastmasters and stand on the stage anywhere in the world confidently when it comes to grammar and grammatical usage. Today, the word of the day is nirvana. Nirvana, this is a word that I'm sure most of us are familiar with. It means a state or place of great happiness and peace. An example would be, we will reach digital nirvana when AI is easily adopted by the Nigerian civil service. Oh, yes, I will definitely reach a state of nirvana. Another example is spending the afternoon at the museum was her idea of nirvana. Personally, a bowl of fried plantain and egg sauce is my definition of nirvana. Please make use of the word of the day in the course of today's meeting. Looking forward to come back here and giving my report. And it's back to you, Madam G.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Ekwuchi, for that succinct explanation of your role. I guess definitely in the course of the meeting, we'll get to use the word nirvana. Next on my role player list is none other than the owl counter. Zoom master, I'm still waiting for your screen. Okay, let me take the time. The owl counter. So the owl counter is Toastmaster Nwachukwu. I'm careful not to pronounce your surname so that I don't murder it. So the owl counter is Toastmaster Nwachukwu. She is the occupation up. Please, can I pass on that? But she is a surgeon. She will come and tell us what kind of surgeon she is. Her club is Pecten Toastmaster Club. Her hobbies are watching movies and traveling. Her favorite quote is Onye kwe chi ya ekwe. The English translation means when one says yes, his chi, personal God, is in agreement with him. Toastmaster Nwachukwu, the lectern is yours, please.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I am the accountant for today, and my role is to pick out repetition of words and use of phrases like well, so, like, but, and bits of words. Thank you for letting me serve in this capacity.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Nwachukwu, for that. Last but not the least on my role player list is none other than our timer for today. Our timer is Toastmaster Francis. Toastmaster Francis is a mechanical engineer and writer. He is the president of Tutors and Trainer Club. His path is engaging humor. His hobbies are reading and bathing. Is bathing a hobby? I'm yet to find out about that. His favorite quote is "Live like a dying man" by Homer. Over to you, Toastmaster Francis.
Thank you very much.
Toastmaster Francis. Okay, beautiful.
For that ecstatic introduction. Yes, bathing is my hobby. Whenever I like to bathe about 5 or 6 times in a day because it freshes my head and gives me a lot of ideas. But that aside, my role at the timer is to effectively monitor our speaking and our engagement through by using my timing cards. Beg your pardon, please. And I shall be doing that by displaying 3 cue cards that you can see right now in my bag and the red. So in today's meeting, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 segments. We have the table topic segment, we have the prepared speech segment, and of course we have the evaluation segment. For the table topics segment, which is usually for 1 to 2 minutes, once the speaker has spoken for 1 minute, the green card will go up. 1 minute, 30 seconds, the yellow card. And once it is 2 minutes, the red card will appear. And as such, the speaker has 30 seconds to round off his or her speech. For the prepared speeches and from the agenda, we have 5 to 7 minutes, a 5 to 7 minute speech. Once the speaker has spoken for 5 minutes, you have the green card, 6 minutes, yellow, and when you see the red card, you know that you've spent 7 minutes. Consequently, you have 30 seconds to round off your speech. And for the evaluation segment, evaluators have a NIRVANA time of 2 to 3 minutes. Once you evaluated for 2 minutes, we see the green. The yellow comes up 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and the red appears once you have reached 3 minutes. And of course, you have 30 seconds to round off your evaluation. Ladies and gentlemen, for us to have an NIRVANA meeting, let's keep to time. Back to you, Madam Chief Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Francis, and I can assure you we'll try as much as we can to keep to time. There you have it, fellow Toastmasters, guests, great listener on this call. I also can assure you of a moment of NIRVANA. I hope I got the pronunciation of that right. At the end of the meeting, we will be back, I and my team, to give our reports. And it's back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Grace. And yes, we will definitely hit NIRVANA in today's meeting. That has been the introduction of roles by all our team players. As I had said earlier, a Toastmasters meeting is usually in 3 phases. We have the table topic session, the manual speech session, and the evaluation session. However, we are also adding 2 sets to it today. There is also going to be a training session because in Toastmasters, we like to encourage everyone to improve in their communication skills and their leadership skills. And also, we are delighted to have our area director visiting our club today. Pecten is part of the Toastmasters International community, and at the lowest level, we are first part of Area 23. So it will now be my greatest pleasure to welcome on the stage Toastmaster Ufoma Origo, our area director. Toastmaster Ufoma, please confirm you're on the call and ready to visit us officially.
I'm on the call and I'm ready to visit us officially. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests. It's an honor and a delight to be in your midst again. And I think I will just start with commendations. So your meetings have always been one that interests me. I think I like the way you introduce people. You know, when you see yourself in a flyer or see yourself in that PowerPoint presentation, lovely picture, your personal statements that you love. For me, it's something I'm even sad I can't see any for me. Madam VPE, I am not happy. Yeah, but anyway, that's an aside. So I have a short time to stay with us today. My being here is just to say a big well done. As in, there's this quantum leap from where you were when I first visited to where you are today. So if it's not too much, I would ask each and every one of us to just please give a hand, you know, if you can unmute and give a hand to Pecten for the goals they've achieved for this year. Thank you. I can see Tosin and Grace and my friend, Toastmaster Nduke, I can see you. Okay. And I also have, I jotted something down that you actually have 2 low-hanging fruits, which will move you to the next level. So you just need 1 level 2 and 1 new member, which of course will move you to the next level. I know that you won't let me down and you will do that. Thank you very much. And I also wanted to confirm from us if we've registered for the Toastmasters Nigeria conference, which is coming up. You know, it's not just for those in Lagos or those in Abuja, it's for all of us as Toastmasters in Nigeria. So just to encourage us to register and encourage us to do our bits. And finally, the third thing I wanted to add is To confirm if we've started looking at those that would be in succession, because our time in office, sadly or happily or sadly, no, we can do sadly, happily, sadly, is coming to an end. So we have to have those people who would take over and ensure that that is already in place. But other than that, I would want to say big kudos to Pecten Toastmasters Club. I believe you were the first club that had your 20 members registered for this new half year. So I would say that was, in fact, when I saw the 20 and I saw fully paid, I was really impressed. So I'll say thank you, kudos, well done, Madam VPE, well done, President, well done, Madam VPM, and all the ESCO. You've made me proud. Thank you. Not much to say. I don't know if you have any 1 or 2 questions for me. I know I said I was going to stay for 5 minutes. I believe my time is almost up. So at this point, any questions? If none, it's a short visit to say well done and thank you.
Thank you so much, our area director. Our president, Toastmaster Tari, I'm sure will be delighted to answer those questions. Toastmaster Tari, would you accept?
Okay, there are questions. Okay, on the chat?
No, our
there
area
are no
director
questions.
was appreciating us, so she wanted you to accept.
So it's not a question. Okay, so so just like just thank you very much, Toastmaster Ofoma, our very able AD. Thank you for the push. Sometimes we need that push, to go to the next level. Thank you very much. You've been great. You've been a good sounding board, and you've always been there when we called upon you for one thing or the other. So thank you for visiting. Thank you for the vote of confidence, and thank God that we're not letting you down. Hopefully it gets better from here on to hand over. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Okay. So I'll be happy to meet you. Yeah, back to you. Thank you, Madam TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ufoma, and on behalf of Pecten, we are delighted to have had you visit our club. We hope next time to achieve NIRVANA, we like visits that come with refreshments, but we can plan for the next one. We will now immediately be moving on to officially the first part of today's meeting, which is our table topic session. I am delighted to introduce our table topics master in today's meeting. Today, our table topics master is Toastmaster Oluwatosin Olorunleke. He is a procurement engineer who is part of the Oil City Speakers Club, where he serves as president and is currently on the strategic relationships pathway. His hobby, playing football, and his favorite quote is from renowned industrialist Henry Ford that says, "Whether you think you can or you can't, you're probably right." Kindly join me as I welcome on the virtual lectern our table topics master for today's meeting, Toastmaster Oluwatosin.
Thank you very much, Madam TMOD. Thank you. When you were reading the quote, I was thinking, well, the only person who would probably know that the quote is not by Tom Ford is Toastmaster Joy. So even if you just said Tom Ford, I'm sure you'd get away with it. Hello, everyone. I am here to be your table topics master, and the table topic segment is one of the most interesting parts of our Toastmasters meetings. Basically, I have a couple of questions that are going to spark a conversation around today's theme, which is
dreams and ambitions.
Thank you. Dreams and ambitions. I don't know how that escaped me. But yes, which is dreams and ambitions. Madam President has already kicked it off properly. So I heard Madam President or rather GE and TMOD say earlier that they will not be working alone today. As table topics master, I will not be working alone as well. I need the cooperation of those of you who are in the meeting room to speak, that is to volunteer to answer any of the questions. I have 7 questions today, and with that, we can get the ball rolling. Oh, I forgot to mention, if there are no volunteers, I can choose my friends to speak. So if you're my friend on this call, please pray that people volunteer. Thank you, and God bless you. So who will get the ball rolling? 7 questions. I promise you, they are not hard. There's no right or wrong answer. Distinguished Toastmaster, God knows. Good to have you here. Please confirm you can hear me.
Sit down. Okay, can I choose the question right now? The number?
Yes, you have 7 questions, 1 to 7. Hello, DTM, God knows. All right.
You have that?
No, I didn't.
I said number 4.
Question number 4. All right.
Yes.
All right, Toastmaster Afoke here. Can I take question 1?
Toastmaster Afoke, we will get round to you. In the meantime, we will be taking Distinguished Toastmaster God knows. So Distinguished Toastmaster God knows, question number 4. Do you regret giving up on any dream or ambition of yours? And can you tell us about it? Do you regret giving up on any dream or ambition of yours? And can you tell us about it?
Okay, thank you very much. I was driving, but I just parked to answer this, to take these table topics. Did I give up on any dream? And if I regret giving up on any dream or ambition in time past? Yes. I started first degree in 1996, and it was geography. And while writing JAMB, I always loved geology. And so when I got geography, they told me you will change in year 2 and all that, whatever they still tell people till date. And in year 2, I was still in geography. And in year 3, I still wrote JAMB again, and my score was fantastic for geology, but my grades for geography was also spectacular. So I got confused. My friends told me, oh, forget about it. When you finish the first degree, you can do pre-degree, and you can do postgraduate diploma, and then you'll be in geology like you want the master's. I tell you, I'm doing PhD geography, but there's a vacuum in my heart. I still miss Gly. If I had Tosin as my friend then, I'm sure he would have advised me to jettison the geography in 3rd year and go back to year 1, geology, my dream course. And I tell you, that's like 15 years or more, if not 20 years ago. That means I would have still finished, I would have still been a geologist. And I won't have to read up to this level. Oh my God. I mean, PhD, geography, and still not fulfilled. That's when you don't get what you want, that's how it feels sometimes. Thank you, Topic Master.
Thank you, DTM God knows. Thank you for telling us your story, for sharing the tough choice you had to make with us. If I was your friend, I would probably have invited you to play football, not tell you to go and study geography or geology. But then we'll move on to the next speaker, Toastmaster Afoke.
Okay,
Toastmaster Afoke.
Question number 1.
Question number 1. What ambition of yours scares you the most? What ambition of yours scares you the most?
Okay, good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. What ambition of mine scares me the most? Well, the truth is that I don't know. Anyway, that's on a lighter mood. Well, I think I'll come from this angle of one time when I really wished to be a long tennis player. And somewhere in me, that ambition is still there, but I struggle with it a little bit, especially when I see people with very big calves now develop so much muscles around their legs from straining left and right to pick the service from the opponent. And I'm like, am I ever going to be able to do this? So the ambition of being a long tennis player somehow scares me for that reason I just mentioned. Another reason that ambition scares me is the fact that oftentimes when I watch these guys play that sport on TV, it appears like it takes a lot of energy much more than I used to think, because you see them sweating, moving, to drink water often, and I'm like, okay, I think I need to take a breather here. So I'd like to give it to long tennis. So the ambition of being a long tennis player is really, really diminished right now because it scares me. Thank you, and back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Afoke. You are scared by your ambition of wanting to become a tennis player. It's never too late to chase your dreams. I hope you play tennis. I don't know about getting paid for it, but I assure you, you can still be a tennis player. Who will like to be our next speaker? Next speaker.
I can try.
All right. I was actually looking at you, so thank you for volunteering, because I was going to call you next. So which question would you like? 4 and 1 have been taken.
Question 2.
Question 2. Do you think it's okay for a person not to be ambitious? Do you think it's okay for a person not to be ambitious?
Ambitious. Is it really okay? But we all have to be ambitious at some point, because we all dream dreams. And we all know that when you dream dreams, you become dreamers, because we're all dreamers. And dreams means we're really ambitious. However, being ambitious really needs to have some heart, because you can dream from now till tomorrow without being ambitious. It holds nothing. You go nowhere. It will just be like a car without energy, without tires. Or maybe the tires are there. They are all flat tires. So ambition takes you far. And that is actually the difference between someone that is going somewhere and someone that's just waiting and still dreaming dreams. For how long can somebody be ambitious about something? And I give myself as an example. I was so ambitious when I was young. I really want to be a lawyer. I told my parents, I will grow up there. I would like to be a lawyer. I would like to stand in for the needy. I will need to stand in for those that didn't have voices. I will just be there. I will do everything possible to ensure that I get justice for people. And that was my ambition. So no matter what happened when I was growing up, I was almost forced to be in the science class. But my ambition is one day I will stand out there in court with my wig, well-dressed, a young barrister, standing in for someone out there that probably might not be able to afford the money to pay for a solicitor. But I was also dreaming, but I was being ambitious. So I did all that was possible to ensure that I achieved my ambition. And I was focused, but not only being focused, I put action into it. So it is important to be have an action. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Moyede. Thank you for that timely reminder. We are all dreamers because we all dream, but it takes focus and action for our dreams to become ambitions. Thank you very much.
And I'm NIRVANA today.
Thank you. I don't know if the grammarian will count that for you. That's cheating. You didn't use it in your speech. All right. Who would like to go next? think we have room for 2 more questions. Toastmaster of the day, can you confirm? Who would like to go next?
Actually, one more question.
Okay, just 1 more. All right. Sorry, did someone volunteer?
Let me try.
All right. Was that Amarachi? Toastmaster Amarachi?
Yes.
Yes, that was her.
Okay, all right. So you have questions 1 to 7, 1, 2, and 4 have been taken.
Okay, I go for question 6.
Question 6.
Yeah.
All right. Is there such a thing as an unrealistic dream or ambition? Is there such a thing as an unrealistic dream or ambition?
Well, I won't say there is anything called unrealistic dream or ambition, because I, for one, believe if you believe it, go for it, and you will get it. All you need to do is just to dream about it, believe in yourself, be consistent in your journey, and go for it, and there you have it. So I don't know how it comes. If you don't just have a belief in yourself, then whatever dream you have will be unrealistic. But if you believe in yourself and go for whatever you want, I think you find your place. You find your place at a nirvana state. So dream it, believe it, go for it, and get it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Amarachi, giving us the formula for a state of nirvana. Dream it, believe it, and follow it. Thank you very much to all our wonderful speakers and to the audience who have listened throughout. Our first speaker was distinguished Toastmaster God Knows, who told us about his ordeal having to choose between geography and geology and how he has felt years after. We have Toastmaster Afoke, who still nurses the ambition to become a tennis player. Toastmaster Moyede, who reminded us that we are all dreamers, but we can turn our dreams into ambitions with action and focus. And finally, we had Toastmaster Amarachi, who reminded us that no dream, no ambition is unrealistic. You just have to dream it, believe it, and pursue it. Thank you very much, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tosin, for that beautiful way of handling our table topic session. I am sure a lot of us were motivated. Please confirm you can still hear me. Apologies.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for that table topic session. And as I had said earlier, our Toastmasters meeting is usually in 3 phases. However, we are delighted to also be conducting a training session today as a way to help us, members and guests, improve our communication and leadership skills. It is part of a project being run by our Division K, and I am delighted to introduce our trainer to today's session. For the training today, we'll be having a training session on going beyond your club, and our trainer today is Toastmaster Nduke Usoro. She is in the banking sector and a member of Uyo Premier Speakers Club. She is currently on the effective coaching pathway and is just about to give her Reflect on Your Path project. That is the combination of completing a full project, which is really amazing. Her hobbies include cooking and traveling, and she loves to connect with nature. Her favorite quote is by Thomas Smith, and it says, "If it is to be, it is up to me." Please put your hands together as we welcome on our virtual lectern to deliver the training on going beyond your club, Toastmaster Nduke.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Eseoghene Okereka. I'm delighted to be part of today's meeting. I can say I am already feeling that state of nirvana being part of this meeting. Today's topic, going beyond our club. Of course, I must give credence to our division for keeping up this mandate of training every member of our club. Truth be told, going beyond our club That's what I'm doing right now. Toastmasters and guests, I hope you're having a good evening. You already know my name, Toastmaster Nduke Usoro. I have a number of friends. I have a number of people I've met prior to now on this call, and I'm delighted to be in this space with you today. Have you had to do anything within the Toastmasters platform that you would say you have gone beyond your club? If you have done that, kindly say yes on the chat room. Let's engage a bit. And if you say yes, tell me what role you played that took you beyond your club. Thank you, Toastmaster Tari Adebisi. Yes. Judge in area contest. Awesome. Let's go. I know a number of us have served. Toastmaster Grace says yes. Thank you. Who is going? I know so many of us have served in different roles beyond our club. Thank you, Toastmaster Ekwuchi. I'm still waiting for you to invite me to your wedding. Just reminding you as we go on the meeting. Toastmaster Tosin, yes, Toastmaster Tosin, you have gone beyond your club. Remember, you were my guardian angel in one of my projects. Thank you, Toastmaster Eseoghene. I know you have. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I am on the guest list. Awesome. I have a dress ready for that wedding. Should start losing weight to fit into the dress. Thank you so much. Going beyond our club. So this particular training addresses the fact that we have an opportunity to learn and to lead beyond the basic aspect of our club meetings. So what are those activities we do that takes us beyond our club? Someone has told us that she served in the speech contest as a judge. So that's one way. Someone has also served as a contestant. Toastmaster Eseoghene has served as a contestant. Toastmaster Grace has served as a contestant. A number of us have played that role, whether we went to the next level, but we served in our club or outside our club at the area level. We served at the speech contest. You know, someone has served as chief judge. I think I attended one contest that Toastmaster Eseoghene served as chief judge. We've served as judges, we've served as ballot counters, we served as timers. So these opportunities help us to learn and to step into those leadership opportunities that help us grow as we grow in the Toastmasters journey. It all makes sense to me. I believe it also makes sense to you that Toastmasters is where leaders are made. And Toastmasters is magnanimous enough not to limit you to the growth ability, the growth opportunities in your club. You are allowed to express yourself beyond your club. Like we've spoken about the speech contest. There are also opportunities. Oh, look at this. Before I jump to the next, you even as an audience, you've attended a speech contest as an audience. That was an opportunity for you to learn beyond your club meeting. What are the other opportunities? Leader to serve in leadership opportunities in your area, in your division, in your district, as board of directors in Toastmasters, even in conferences, you have a leadership opportunities like the conference that is coming up in June. A number of us are serving in different roles. Those are leadership opportunities that have been availed us in Toastmasters beyond our club. What does it do for us? It helps us learn. We learn from others. We see what others are doing out there. We see what other clubs are doing. We take it back to our clubs to make ourselves better. We enrich our club when we go out to serve beyond our club. I talked about the conferences that is like the conference that is coming up. There are other seminars that come up like the Toastmasters convention. If you just sit back, log on to the convention, you learn a lot. You hear the speakers, you see how they express themselves, the people, the role players, there's a lot, it's loaded. The learning opportunities, it's enormous. So what do? We open our minds as Toastmasters. We're ready to learn. Allow me to chip in the fact that COVID brought a lot for us. I believe that before COVID, I would not be able to know, probably it would have taken me so much to know Toastmaster Tosin and know him for who he is and be able to connect with him. It's not when I come for COT, which is once in 6 months, that I'll probably meet him and I'm in a hurry to go. But the COVID year opened up the networking that we're able to meet with other clubs. I'm able to come to your club today to train, learn from you, you learn from me, and it also opens our minds up. We talked about serving in speech contests. That's what Toastmasters does for us. I want to be able to give us an opportunity to probably discuss further as we go along this training, because so many of us have experiences as Toastmasters. You want to share that testimony, what you have learned as a Toastmaster by going beyond your club, what it has done to you. Even at the networking level, you're able to connect with other Toastmasters. Even for your personal life, you have gone beyond your club. You have learned how to lead better. You have learned how to take on some roles better than what you used to do. Probably you could serve this role as a general evaluator, but you have an opportunity to go and see what another person is doing, what the other person is doing. By the time you bring the three people's experiences and add to what you have known, it makes you a better general evaluator. Toastmasters and guests, I would not take so much of our time. I would like 1 or 2 people to share a testimony of their going beyond their club. A minute of each testimony, just share what it has done to you as a Toastmaster and how it has improved your leadership capacity. Who wants to go? Is there any hand up? Toastmaster Grace, you have the virtual lectern.
Thank you, Trina, for today. So I'd like to state that going outside your club has added great value to me, especially when I was Vice President Education. I think that was the period where I visited other clubs a lot. And this is what it did for me. I was able to network. I was able to meet other people in other clubs. I think that was when I met Toastmaster ST for the first time. And it also made me get used to diverse audience. So in my own personal club, I'm used to my club members. But when I get to other club, I learn how to interact. I'm someone that do not talk too much, but visiting other clubs as well as also afforded me that opportunity to be able to open up and start up a conversation with other persons. Other than that, it has also given me the privilege of being able to be confident. Is a different ballgame when you're in your own club. It's more like you're in your comfort zone. But when you step out to other club, it's like stepping out of your comfort zone and you're seeing different persons. Another exciting thing it has done for me is being able to learn from other people, their different way of doing a particular thing. So there's something Toastmaster Tosin might do, or there's something Toastmaster Tari might do, and I'm like, oh wow, that's a better way of, going about this role, or evaluating a speaker, or giving a speech. And with that opportunity, I tend to learn more. Back to you, Trina.
Thank you, Toastmaster Grace. Thank you, Toastmaster Grace. Thank you. The confidence you've had to build and having to interact with other people, gleaning from their experience. Awesome. Thank you. Who else wants to give us the testimony? Share your experience. Yes, please go ahead. Hello. My screen is shut. I can't see everyone. Someone unmuted. Who wants to go? Okay, if no one wants to go, it's fine. Do we have questions or further suggestions on this topic? There's room for you to speak up.
Okay, can I go, Toastmaster Nduke?
Oh, please. Thank you.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I was just thinking as you were speaking, it's easy as a Toastmaster to sit comfortably in your club, right? Doing the things that are required of you to do, serving in whatever capacity in your club. But I think it's not always the ideal situation where they call you out to actually come and serve. there's a place for volunteering to actually do this work. And I think in building networks, in meeting other people, that spirit of volunteering actually plays a major role. A lot of us just sit back and just, okay, when we are called upon, then we come and do what we need to do. But then if you must go further, it must climb higher, it must make impact in one way or the other, you need to be able to put yourselves out there. Coming from where I'm coming from, I've never been a kind of an outspoken person. I mean, I wasn't an outspoken person. Let me not speak wrong grammar. I wasn't an outspoken person before. I'm the kind of person that's comfortable being in the background, being, supporting whoever was in the light at that time. But I think one thing Toastmasters has done for me is what I'm doing now. Actually able to speak, actually able to project my voice or lend my voice to topics that, may come my way. So what am I saying? Don't just sit in your comfort zone, waiting to be called upon to play a role or do something. Volunteer, and volunteering is not comfortable most of the time. It's actually taking you out of your comfort zone, but that is where you grow. That is where the growth is. When you're out of your comfort zone, it's like lifting weights, right? You are working those muscles and then they pop.
Thank you.
So that's where the work is. So do volunteer and then
volunteering.
Go further. Yeah.
I volunteer to serve in the next meeting, Toastmaster Ese. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, please just do a quick one. Timer, please. How many more minutes do we have? I think the timer is off.
Okay, so can you hear me? I don't know if can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
So I've been trying to turn on my video. I don't know if it's possible. Okay, it's working now.
Yes, it is.
I won't take time. I'll just read something I found around this to you or to the rest of the folks on the call. True growth as a dancer lies not only with the familiar steps of your own village square, but in the boldness to venture into other squares. It is the exchange of rhythms, the embrace of diverse styles, and the celebration of shared movement that your dance transcends the boundaries and blooms into an extraordinary art. Embrace the beauty of unfamiliar stages, for it is there that you unlock the hidden depths of your own artistry, transforming you into a dancer whose spirit knows no limits. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So you need to break loose, express yourself. Would that be the summary, Toastmaster?
Yes, you become a better dancer by breaking loose and going into unfamiliar territories.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we need to stretch. That's the same thing Madam President said, stretch. Break the box. The box does not exist again. Those days, my bosses will say, think outside the box. Then after a while, they said, there is no box. Just think, be creative. Don't limit your choices. Don't limit your thoughts. Go wild in your thoughts. And when you go that way, your result is also limitless. Thank you. Oh, I'm feeling so hyped. Everyone wants me in their club. I am coming for you. Please just fix the date and invite me. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Eseoghene, I really want to know how many more minutes I have.
Officially, you have 6 minutes left.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Going beyond our club, Toastmaster Tosin, please share with us. You could come from the experience of having to be my guardian angel. Just share with us your experience going beyond your club.
For me, thank you, Nduke. So for me, the main lesson from going beyond the club is the whole big fish, small pond thing. So you can be in your club and think, oh, you're a wonderful Toastmaster, you give brilliant speeches. People maybe in your club that have just been Toastmasters for 1 year or 2 years, hear your speeches and they rave on about it. Then you go to another club and you deliver a speech and then you're waiting for the evaluation and you think it's going to be filled with just commendations and then you're getting recommendation after recommendation. It can be quite humbling, but aside the humbling part of it, there's also the fact that you actually get to learn more. It's like you actually get to be baptized by fire. So until you step out there, you really don't know, you really can't test yourself. You can't evaluate yourself. You can't say you are this good or that bad because it takes much more people to be able to give you that feedback that you need. So I think if you really want to know how well you're performing, if you really want to know your status as a Toastmaster, as a speaker, as a leader, you need to show up as often as possible. You need to have as many people as possible give you feedback. 1 or 2 people will not cut it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tosin. Thank you. I really appreciate that comment of yours. There's something my president does. When we have virtual meetings, she shops for outsiders. She brings people from other clubs to take on rules. And what does she do for us in our club? The evaluation comes, it's not the same evaluation we've heard over time. Toastmaster Namiti could be used to the way I speak. Toastmaster Grace could be used to the way I speak. She says the same things to me, or she probably has made this recommendation time and again. But when Toastmaster Tosun comes on board, he says something new to me. Let me dare to say he'll kick me below the belt. And what does that do for me? There's a new learning opportunity that has brought to the fore. And if I am interested in learning and growing as a leader, I will imbibe that and grow further. Toastmaster Ekwuchi, you want to say something to us? Our grammarian? Is our grammarian on call?
Yes, I'm right here. I lost you for a minute. Sorry, please, could you say that again?
I want you to share your experience or what you have, your own bits on going beyond the club.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Trainer.
Thank you,
hot
madam.
take that everybody wants. Toastmaster Grace and Tosi, beware. All right, so going beyond my club is something that I have been very intentional about. I do not want to be termed a local champion, if anything. At first, there's this temptation to just be comfortable in your club where you are excelling, where you're the next best thing after sliced bread. You're doing all the work. You're doing everything, you're shining, you're excelling, not just for you, but you're being appreciated by members as well. There's that temptation. But being a Toastmaster and seeing how broad and how far I can go, it feels a bit limiting just being there in my club. Personally, I've decided to accept as many calls that I get to do one thing or the other, be a role player, serve in any capacity that I can, as long as I have the time. Around that time, yes, I will make sure that I take it off. And I think doing that has really, really helped me grow on my Toastmasters journey. Yes.
Thank you. Toastmaster Grace, please take notes. That's behind the camera. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ekwuchi. So Toastmasters and guests, we would have loved to hear everyone's comments. I believe we are all enriched in our minds right now as to the experience of going beyond our club. So what am I saying to us? Take advantage of that learning and leadership experience. You would thank me, you would thank Division K leadership for that prop tomorrow. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. I take my bow.
Wow. Please, can we all unmute and put our hands together for that beautiful speaker who has taken us to Nirvana by helping us I won't say expand our ambitions. It's actually suiting for today's team. You've showed us examples of people who have expanded their ambitions, who have dreamt wide and continue to dream wide. And you've motivated us on how we can go beyond our club. And also it's interesting to see that even guests, Toastmasters, have decided to come and hustle you while still giving that speech. I don't think that shows that you have met the nirvana of what it is to be a great facilitator. I think at this point, the only hustling Pecten Toastmasters Club would like to do is to tell you to leave your Premier Speakers Club and come register under the Pecten family, because obviously this is the right place for you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nduke. We have loved having you present in this training today. Thank you for teaching us on how to go beyond our club.
I would not delighted. Thank you.
Thank you. I see Toastmaster Grace checking ahead. Toastmaster Grace, if Toastmaster Nduke prefers to come to Pecten, who are we to say no? I am now delighted to move on to officially our second part of Toastmasters meeting, which is the manual speech session. This is a session where speakers who are registered Toastmaster members will deliver a speech on their pathway, and it is part of your growth in the Toastmasters community. For our first speaker today, I would like to call on her evaluator to share the objective of her speech. Her evaluator today will be Toastmaster Tari Adebisi, our president. Toastmaster Tari, kindly come on the lectern to share details of our first speech. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Essay. Our first speaker will be Toastmaster Ekwuchi Joy James. I love pronouncing all the names, calling all the names. And she's on her second pathway, which is quite impressive, and is in Persuasive Influence pathway. And this is her fourth project in level 1. Now, the title of today's speech is, Hey, how are you? And what is the purpose of this speech? Now, this is a research and presentation kind of speech. So Toastmaster Ekwuchi is expected to have done a research on a topic of her choice. And after doing that research, she's supposed to review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on that topic. The speech may be humorous, it may be informational, it may have any style she chooses. But the important thing is that she would have spent time researching that topic, and then it must show in the presentation she's coming up with. Bear in mind that this project is not a report of the content of the researching and presenting project. So Toastmaster Ekwuchi, bear that in mind as we go along. I know what Toastmaster Ekwuchi can do. She's not a rookie in this. She's given many speeches. She's been a contestant in many contests. So I believe that if we set the bar high, we haven't set it actually high enough. So over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, as you introduce Speaker 1, Toastmaster Ekwuchi James. Over to you, Toastmaster Essay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tari. I'm delighted to welcome on the stage Toastmaster Ekwuchi James. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Toastmaster Ekwuchi James.
Hey, how are you? And no, it's not the generic how are you that everybody asks. Please, I want to see one word in the chat box that expresses how you are in this moment. I'm looking there to see. Can't see any responses yet. Off the top of your head, how do you feel? NIRVANA, great. Hungry, Toastmaster Asl. I'm not surprised. Great. I'm really proud of you, SAO. I wish I was there too. I see Wida. Okay, I say true Port Harcourt man. Awesome. Lovely. This question, how are you, might be the simplest, most underrated, but yet most important question in the world of mental health. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. And today, I will be coming to you in the form of a mental health advocate and enthusiast. And I'll be asking, how are you? I've not always been like this. I mean, having an interest in mental health related topics. As a matter of fact, growing up in Nigeria, in the society that we are, we can all attest to the fact that we never talk about these things here. Mental health related topics are not well spoken about. When you mention mental health, the thing that comes to mind is Onyara, someone that is mad, roaming the streets with tattered clothes and hair, eating something from the dump. That's what we thought mental health related issues were. Or we say, that one is for Onyibo. What is suicide? So person will just come, jump inside river, slice wrists. I will never chop enough. But it was about 7 years ago, I realized that depression is a real thing, because I experienced it. It was the darkest, toughest time of my life. NIRVANA, what is that word? Couldn't relate. I was in a state of utter grief. I was devastated after the experience that I had. Most people already know about this experience. There was nothing exciting anymore. I didn't feel the need to do anything. All the verve, all the vigor that I had was lost. I was once the life of the party, but in those months, all I wanted to do was be by myself. I was angry. I alienated everyone. Ekwuchi, what do you want to eat? Please, I beg, I beg, I beg. Do you want to come out and hang with the girls? No. Seeing even calls and messages on my phone made me anxious. I did not want to do anything. Fast forward to now that I know better, I was depressed. Did I think I would ever be that state? No, if you had told me, but then it happened. According to the World Health Organization, as of January 2022, 20 million Nigerians have been diagnosed with mental health illnesses, but not given psychiatric help. 20 million, that's a large number. Also, we are number 1 in Africa with the highest rate of depression and the 15th in the world when it comes to suicides. Surprise, right? But it's the truth. Sometime in 2020, I was coming back from Bayelsa, and I just along the bridge that leads from the Emoha to Port Harcourt. Most of you know where the Port University is. Just on that bridge, I was with a friend traveling together. And right before my eyes, I saw a man climb over the bridge. We thought he wanted to just be silly and sit on there and view the river. Before we blinked, he had jumped in and everyone was screaming. There was pandemonium. This man was not Unyibo. He was a conk Nigerian man, typical average Nigerian man, just like you and I. According to the After Behavioral article, there are 10 types of mental health disorders. There's anxiety disorder that includes depression and bipolar disorder. There are behavioral disorders. There are personality disorders, addiction and abuse, eating disorders, OCD, PTSD. Most of us are familiar with these terms. Also, according to WHO, the 3 top mental health illnesses are anxiety, depression, and PTSD. It's a real thing. The next time that you feel really, really worried about a certain case, you can't sleep at night, you're filled with fear, you might just be suffering from anxiety, undiagnosed. The next time you try calling your friend and you drop her 10 missed calls and she's not answering you, she never comes to any party, she never does the things that she used to do before, just check in on her or send a message. Hey, how are you? Mental health is not a destination, it is a journey. That is what Maya Angelou said. Most times we go along life feeling like it's okay to just move. Everyone has their problems, I beg, nobody should disturb me. But trust me, you might be the key to someone's nirvana. You might be that person that can drag someone else from the dump and sprinkle some sunshine in their life. Chat to TM Essay up. Chat TM Francis up and say, how are you? I haven't heard from you in a while, just checking in. Put a smile on someone's face. Do not downplay the effect of mental health disorders. It is real, it happens. You might even be going through it, but the shame and the fear and the stigma that has been attached to it in our society might not let you speak up. I'm here standing today telling you it is okay to speak up and admit that you need help. There are lots of people that are available to give you help. Take care of yourself. Self-care is how you take power back into your hands. That's what Leila Delia says. Go for that spa date. Do that thing that you love to do. Treat yourself to a bowl of spaghetti and turkey, if that's what's going to make you feel better. Do not ignore the gravity of how mental health disorders can go. Seek help. You can find it if you ask for it. Do not forget, how are you is the simplest, most underrated, but most important question to ask. And it's back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Wow. Hey, how are you? I think I'm feeling a bit more better after listening to your speech, Toastmaster Joy. I'm not saying it took me to the nirvana. If anything, it made me think of times when I felt low. But it's good to know that I am not alone. And isn't that what community is all about? Thank you so much for that beautiful speech. I am absolutely certain that your evaluator would have feedback to share about that speech. We would now immediately be moving on to our second speech in today's meeting. And for that, I would like to call on her evaluator, Toastmaster Oluwatosin Oloruleke, to come share the objective of her speech. Toastmaster Tosin, the virtual elected is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam TMOD, and hello everyone once again. Today we have the privilege of listening to Toastmaster Amarachi as she delivers her speech from the Motivational Strategies Path, Level 2, Project 3. It's an introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. Today we have a simple expectation from Toastmaster Amarachi. Her project was supposed to have taught her how Toastmaster actually envisions mentoring. And so we want to hear from her speech an experience or a part of an experience as a protege. We hope that when she shares that experience, we can also get to see what mentoring and mentorship is all about. That being said, I've never listened to Toastmaster Amarachi speak before, but I am very excited and hopeful, especially after listening to her during the table topic segment. I look forward to that speech and wish her good luck. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Oluwatosin, and I am delighted to welcome on our lectern, Days of Little Beginnings. Days of Little Beginnings, Toastmaster Amarachi. Over to you.
At every stage of my life, I'd always been a protege or a mentee. And I put it to all of us on this call today that we all have got our days of little beginnings. My days of little beginnings as a young girl growing up in the city of Kano. I grew up in a family where my mom is a Muslim and my dad is a Christian. And growing up, my parents never gave me that space to go out, mingle. Of course, I was in a boarding house. I grew up around some Reverend sisters, actually called Sisters of St. Louis. They are based in Kano. So I've got my mom, but again, I am coming back from school. Oh, the sisters are coming to come pick me back to the convent. People were worried, more especially from my father's side, because they were like, from my mother's side, because they were like, oh, she's always going to the convent. Are you sure she don't want to be a Reverend sister and all of that? Who? Reverend sister, me, Amara? No way. Hello, how? It was just a stage in my life where I was being mentored. I was mentored by Reverend sisters. Then I have friends who'd want to go out. Come, Amara, we have a birthday party. Come, Amara, there is this place we need to go. Or something is happening in the church. And if it is during Salah, oh, let's go out. It's Salah time and all that. I never had that opportunity because the sisters wouldn't allow me to go. I never knew there was this guidance they were trying to imbibe in me. I am at a place of nirvana in my life right now because I chose to be mentored. It's a different thing having a mentor and a different thing entirely, you wanting to be mentored. Fast forward to 2020 when I found myself in where? In the almighty city of Warri. Imagine a Kano girl catapulting all the way to Warri. How? How do you want to cope? What do you want to do? I got to Warri and my family, everybody was scared. How will you cope? Oh, because over there in the north, when you hear Warri, there is this ras thing that comes to your head. Oh, we hear, oh, Warri, they carry last. Oh, who they breed. Oh, waiting they play. All of those stuff. And being in Warri, if you're normal, organized, composed, calm, cool-headed, in Warri, they see you as being abnormal. But when you're crazy, ras, and dogged, that's when you're a normal person in Warri. But what had put me through my stay in worry were those things that I was taught back in Kano. I never forgot where I was coming from. It was always there. I impute everything that I was taught from Kano by the sisters, even by my mom. I used all of them when I got to worry, and it helped me get to the level where I am today in life. I think everyone needs a mentor in one way or the other in their life. Is it spiritually? What is the biblical definition of a mentor? Biblical definition of a mentor is someone who guides you through irrespective of your shortcoming. And if we dive into the holy books of the Bible, let's see in the first book of Thessalonians 5:11. I'm sorry, I'm deviating a little, but just take it from me. The Bible has said that we should encourage one another. You can encourage one another and mentor yourself together. Just like in the holy books of the Quran by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the version of 78, the Prophet has also encouraged all of us to carry each other and mentor ourselves where we need it. It's only people who mentor themselves or seek guidance from an experienced and a reliable advisor that will see the Almighty Allah. So I think it is very important for all of us at each stage of our life to have a mentor. Having a mentor is very, very important. It's very important. And there is the saying that says, if you cannot see where you are going, ask someone who have been there before. Let me borrow this slang that is all over the place. Follow who know road. Ask for guidance, ask for direction, have a mentor. There is no time at all, no one needs a mentor. At every stage of our life, we all have got to need a mentor. So mine, I have kept everything I was taught right from my days of little beginnings, right from when I was in secondary school. I have kept to everything I was taught, everything I was taught, and it has brought me this far in life. I always tell people, it's not all about having a mentor. Ask yourself, do you want to be mentored? That is a very important question, because you could have a mentor, but don't want to be mentored. So how is it going to stay? Whatever your mentor is saying or whatever guidance is being given to you, it's not being adhered to. So I want to recommend each and every one of us that we should see the importance of having a mentor. And at some point in our life, always remember whatever we are taught from our days of little beginnings. And I want to assure you all that heeding to instructions will get you at a stage of nirvana in your life. Thank you. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Wow. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amara. Very interesting to hear that you decided not to be a Reverend Sister, especially considering how much you loved the mentoring you got from them. But I really loved that question you've given us to ponder on asking ourselves. It's not just about saying, come and mentor me, come and mentor me. Do you want to be mentored? You have to show that willingness in how you decide on your mentorship journey. Thank you. I am absolutely certain your evaluator will be giving you much more feedback on how your speech was delivered today. Thank you. We would now immediately, as I had said in the beginning, we have had our table topic session. We have had our manual speech session where we had two speakers, Toastmaster Amara and Toastmaster Joy. We will now be moving on to our table topic session. And to handle this session will be our general evaluator, Toastmaster Grace. But just before I call her on the virtual lectern, please, I would like to call on everyone to vote for the better table topic speaker. It is currently propped on your screen. So please choose. We had 4 table topic speakers. So please put your votes for who you think was the better table topic speaker in today's meeting. The poll will run for exactly 1 minute. So please, we had distinguished Toastmaster God Knows Forth, we had Toastmaster Foke, we had Toastmaster Moyede, and we had Toastmaster Amarachi. Please indicate your vote for the better table topic speaker. It's on your screen, you just click and it shows. Who was the better table topic speaker in today's meeting? Maybe because I'm Zoom master, I can see there's a tie, which is really beautiful. So we need someone to break the tie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it is exactly 8 minutes. Thank you. Poll is officially over. I would now like to call on our general evaluator, Toastmaster Grace, to handle the evaluation session. Toastmaster Grace, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asl, for relinquishing the lectern to me, and I will move swiftly to give the evaluation of the table topic session. The table topic session was handled by Toastmaster Tosin. I loved the way he explained the session at the beginning of the table topic session. I also love the fact that he had a smile on his face, and he also infused humor at the beginning of that session, which made everybody quite calm and interested in it. I also like the fact that he encouraged people, he encouraged volunteers to participate in the session. And another thing that stood out for me is how he actively listened for every speaker that spoke. He actually reiterated what the person said. And even at the end, he gave us a summary of what went down during the table topic session. I would have loved to see him use the word of the day, most definitely, just to fulfill that his mind is quite present here. But that's regardless, I think he handled that session excellently. The first respondent for that session was DTM Godfonius, who was asked, did you regret giving up on your dreams and ambition? I love the fact that he repeated that question. That stood out for me, and is a trick in table topic session. Repeat the question. I also love the fact that he was quite clear. Even when he gave his response, he said yes. So we had clarity in his response. The use of personal story, he also gave details during the use of that personal story, where he said the year 2006 and where he talked about his geography. What would be my recommendation for you, DTM Godfonius? I would recommend that you vary your vocals, especially when you were talking about your friend, when your friend was trying to advise you were saying that in a monotone, not depicting that was actually a dialogue. So you may want to watch out for that when next you're responding in a table topic session. And then echoing sounds in your background, please, you may want to be careful about that, because at some point it was quite disrupting. Well, I loved your enthusiasm and the way you went about that. Well done. Toastmaster Afoke was asked, what ambition scares you? I love the twist you had at the beginning of your response, where you said you don't have any response, you don't know, and then you said no, that's on a lighter note. I felt that was quite interesting. I also like the fact that you shared a personal story when you talked about being a tennis player. I loved your confidence level. I think you spoke quite clear. What would be my recommendation for you? I'd have loved to see your video on so I could connect with you more. And I would have also loved you to structure your response in a way. So here's the thing, when you're being asked a question, you could just do that trick of repeating the questions. This affords you more time to ponder on the question and then structure your response in a manner that would be appealing. But that's notwithstanding, I felt it was a great attempt and well done. Toastmaster Moyede was asked, do you think it's okay for a person not to be ambitious? I loved that he arranged that particular question to suit yourself and your own understanding. I also like the fact that you used your time well, you actually volunteered for this. And then you shared a personal story. Everybody shared a personal story today, which was quite brilliant. And I also love the details in your speech where you talked about wearing a wig, being in black suit. And in my head, I was already picturing myself in all of that. I would have loved you to infuse humor in your speech, just to see you loosen up and smile a bit, because you had your hands like this and you had your hands up tight. So I would have loved you to infuse humor a bit. That would have loosened you up. And then establish eye contact. You had your eyes moving, going about, and I would have loved you to establish eye contact with your audience. That notwithstanding, you're a confident speaker. I love that you reiterated and gave a call to action at the end of your speech. And yes, you used the word of the day. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Amarachi, the last respondent, is there such a thing as an unrealistic goal? Yes, you volunteered. Well done. Yes, you also used the word of the day. Well done. That shows my presence. And you spoke confidently. I love that. I love that you also gave certain pointers where you said, do it, go for it, believe it. Those were like call to actions. You were spot on. You just hit the nail on the head. I would appreciate if your camera angle was a bit much better. The way your camera angle was positioned wasn't giving us your full view. And also, you were kind of moving uncontrollably when you were talking. I think you may want to watch that when responding in table topic session. And also, I would have loved if you had asked a question, because your question was an interesting one. I'd have loved if you had asked a question to get your audience more involved in your speech. The session was great. It was quite an interesting one. And I would have loved to hear more word of the word of the day used more during this session. I'd have loved to also see that our guests were actually engaged, because for some of them, this is an opportunity to engage them. That notwithstanding, it was a great session. So over to me, the general evaluator. At this point, I would love to call on the first evaluator of the manual speech, and that's none other than Toastmaster Tari. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Toastmaster Ekwuchi James. Yes, smile, smile, smile. Thank you very much for that speech. I wrote here, I'm in a state of nirvana, even as I wait that speech to be given. That's what I wrote in that was the first thing I wrote in my notebook. And thank you that you didn't disappoint. You didn't jerk me out of that state of nirvana with your speech, but rather you kept me there. It was such an amazing speech. Starting from the title, hey, how are you? Sounds so laid back, but yet so serious, right? It's as serious as it sounds. I mean, if you get what I mean. Thank you so much for that speech. It was very clear from the beginning where you were going to with your title. Oftentimes we see titles and then what is in the body of the speech has no relationship with the title. But hey, how are you? Yes, it could mean anything. But from the very beginning, we got to know exactly where you were headed with that. And so that was really great. So what are the things I loved about your speech? One of the things I loved was the fact that you first of all repeated your title. I mean, to draw people into what you're about to say. And I think that was a great thing to do. And then another thing I love is that you engage the audience. Yes, we ask everybody every day, how are you? So it wasn't strange for you to now ask the audience, okay, how are you today at this point in time? What's that one word you would use in describing how you feel? And I'm also glad that you actually incorporated the feedback you got into your speech. Many times you ask that question and then we move on. We don't even say anything about that. But you incorporated your answers you got into your speech, and I think you did that very nicely. I love how you said the most important question in the world of mental health is how are you? And you segued nicely from there into the body of your speech. Now, every good speech, and giving evaluations not just for the speaker, it's for everyone on the call. Every good speech will have three distinct segments, which is the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. I love the introduction. All I had said prior to now was the introduction. You did it quite well. And then you segued into the body of the speech where you began to delve into the topic of mental health. I love the fact that you use stories to tie your own experience to what you were talking about. So the stories you gave about how you suffered depression 7 years ago, there was a time component to it, and that is really important. Remember that this is a research project. So when you give time and you give facts, it is really important in the project. Thank you for doing that. And then also you gave a speech of the suicide in quote that you witnessed, and that was really greatly done. What would I have seen you do better of? One thing we should be careful about doing is assuming that everyone on the call is from our part of the world, right? So when you use words like Onyara and use words like Oyibo, I would have expected that you actually interpreted what those words mean. Just in case we have a Caucasian on the call, should he or she know that he or she is being referred to as Oyibo? So what is Oyibo? I expected you should just, have just told us, okay, this is a Nigerian slang that means so and so. Let's not assume that everyone actually knows what that means. Or Onyara, not everyone is Igbo, so everyone may not know what Onyara means. So that's what I think you should have done better. Another thing I think you could have done better, even though you did a little bit of it, was the facts. Remember, again, it's research. So when you're giving a presentation on research, facts and figures should be tied. You talked about WHO saying the 3 most important mental health disorders are depression, PTSD, and I think anxiety. Anxiety, yes. But there are other things, other places where you could have also given equal facts. For instance, when you said in January 2022, 20 million Nigerians were diagnosed with mental health issues. What was the source of that information? I don't think I caught that. And then again, when you said Nigeria is the 15th, I think the 15th on the list, they were with the 15th worldwide for suicide. What was the source of that information as well? So if you're giving an information from an article, you have to tell us, okay, this is the title of the article, this is the journal the article is from, this is the issue or the edition of that journal. It helps us bring our mind back to the fact that this is actually a presentation for research. And then another thing I noticed was, there was a part I thought you were concluding when you said, the next time you feel fear, and I wrote conclusion, but then you went on again to talk about self-care. Oh, this is how you get out of depression, take care of yourself. So I felt, a bit thrown off, like, okay, I'm not clear now whether that was the conclusion or this is now the conclusion. All in all, you gave a lot of information in this one project. You brought our minds back to the importance of mental health issues. And I'm sure you know that I'm already a mental health advocate anyway. Maybe that's why I'm talking about this so much passion. You brought our minds back to the fact that mental health was a serious issue to actually discuss. You did it perfectly well. You were smiling, you were at ease. You put yourself, your story, your personal story into the topic, and that is a very important part of any presentation you give. So I'd like to say kudos to you, Toastmaster Ekwuchi. You're a star, you've always been a star. I know that with this feedback, the next speech you give definitely will be better than this one. But this, I would say, was near perfect. Thank you very much. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Tari, for that detailed evaluation. And I can see Toastmaster Joy is all smiles. Definitely, she's taking all of that and infusing the recommendation made. I would love to call our second evaluator for today's meeting, which is none other than Toastmaster Tosin. Toastmaster Tosin, lectern is yours.
Thank you, Madam G. I'd like to start by saying well done to Toastmaster Amarachi. You did not fall our hand this evening. I enjoyed your speech personally, so thank you very much for that. Days of little beginnings. The very first thing I noticed about your speech was that you were telling us a personal story. Toastmaster Grace, our general evaluator, has already spoken about the advantages of telling a personal story. You can't go wrong with it. It seems so natural, it's so effortless, and that's what we had today. It was clear that you were very comfortable telling that story because it was yours, you owned it, and that's what we love to see as an audience. I also loved the expressions you used when you were speaking, and by expressions, I'm referring to your body language and your gestures. I thought you did that properly, especially when you were talking about growing up in Warri and people in Kanu finding out that you actually grew up or were born in Warri. You know, the way you actually expressed it, you actually sounded like someone from Warri. So that was nice to see as well. I also liked the fact that when you were giving us some Arabic words, your pronunciations were near perfect. I am not Arabic, and I do not understand Arabic, but if you tell me that that was perfect, I would believe. And I think it's something we need to learn. You know, whenever we are speaking languages, we should try to put in as much effort as possible to let people see that we want to get it right. That effort is endearing. Food is one of the ways to people's hearts. Toastmaster Ese knows that, of course. But another way to people's hearts is the language. When you share language with people, how often do you maybe go somewhere and you hear someone speaking a similar language to you, and all of a sudden you feel at home or you feel warmer to that person? So Toastmaster Amarachi, I think your ability to actually have pronounced, the Arabic words used showed good preparation, showed good effort, and if anything, it would have warmed up people who are familiar with the religion or practitioners of the religion, or even just speakers of the language. It would have endeared them to you and your speech today. The first thing I noticed that needed some correction as regards your speech delivery was your camera positioning. In fact, it seemed like it was almost okay at some point, but then you tweaked it and then it was not really focused on your face. My recommendation there would be that before the meeting starts, you turn on your video. Right now, I can see your video is off already, and I guess that's one of the disadvantages of not having your camera on until you need to speak, because then it's almost too late to start making all the necessary adjustments. So I would recommend that next time you do that earlier. I also thought your speech today was about mentorship. And I feel as though we did not get to really hear about mentorship. So first and foremost, you want to even define what mentorship is to us. Toastmaster Tari said you don't assume. And yes, you might think we're all Toastmasters, we should know what mentorship is, but please don't assume on our behalf. Just assume you're here the only thing you can assume is that you're here to teach us and we want to learn. So next time I would advise that you actually start by explaining or defining what it is you're here to teach us, and then going on to cite actual examples from your own experience. Being a speech about mentorship, I would have loved to hear what mentorship is, what some of the advantages that you gain from mentorship were, and also some of the challenges you faced. I feel as though we didn't really get an opportunity to see a lot of that today. And also as regards your conclusion, I think this was a problem that stemmed maybe from the body, being that you did not delve into mentorship as much as we would have loved you to. I did not think your conclusion was coherent enough. I thought there were too many things you were trying to tie in together. So when you have a speech, you have the introduction, you have the body, and you have the conclusion. The body, they usually say, is the meat of the speech. But when it comes to the conclusion is there so that it's just a way of saying, oh, if you did not get the point while you were listening to the body, here is the point. But I feel as though your conclusion did not do that today. We wanted to get the message you were passing across, getting numbers and all of that. But I think because of the way your body was, it left you a bit short with your conclusion. That being said, I still left here with a lesson, which is most important. It would be tragic if anyone gets to speak and it seems as though there is no point to their speaking, but that was not the case today. Today you came, you spoke, and you left me knowing that you wanted us all to know that it's not enough to have a mentor. You also need to want to be mentored. You left here telling us that we must desire to be mentees. We must desire mentors. So thank you very much, Toastmaster Amarachi. I look forward to seeing you speak again because you can only get better. Back to you, GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tosin, for that evaluation. Quickly would move, and I will call on the grammarian to come give her report on how well we fared with the use of our grammar and the word of the day, and every other thing her report entails.
Thank you so much, Madam GE. I'll quickly just go over the grammarian report. As regards the word of the day, I'll just start by being honest. We did not try. I'll say it. But we have this week to do better with it. You can do better. Use it more often in the course of the week. It's not something very popular, so you can use the opportunity to even, what's the word? Raise shoulder and brag about knowing a very fancy new word. All right, as regards to the word of the day, Pastor Joy used it 3 times, TM Francis used it once, Madam GE used it once, TM Odi used it 3 times, TM Tari used it once, TM Moede used it once, Ojoro, which means she did small foul play, but I'll give it to her. TM Amarachi used it 3 times, TM Tosin used it once, and our trainer, TM Nduke, used it twice. I'll just go straight ahead to proper and improper use of grammar. Someone said, giving me the opportunity of being able to be more confident. That's a mouthful. I think it could have just been giving me the opportunity of being more confident. Sometimes we tend to use too many words in a sentence and it just takes away from it. I like that someone used the phrase big fish, small pond. That was nice. Kick B below the belt. That's good as well. Someone said adhered to. It should be adhered to. Someone said he would now immediately. We would now immediately. It should be we would now move or we would immediately move. Either or. Just use either or. Words like coherent, endearing. Those are really good words to be used as well. We're doing so great as regards our grammar, and I'm just hoping that we can improve as we go along our journey. Thank you, and it's back to you, Madam GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joy, for that report. At this point, I'd like to call on the accountant to come give us her report.
Okay, so I served as the accountant for today, and I must say it was a baptism of fire for me. So apologies for any goofs earlier on. I'll just go ahead to say what each speaker, what I noticed from each speaker. So Toastmaster Tari, she used the expression and repeated the phrase in the twice. Then for Toastmaster Grace, repeated the expression, the phrase I also liked and fulfilled, and the word fulfilled. Then for Toastmaster Ekwuchi, she repeated I and really. Really, she used really twice. Then for Toastmaster Tosin, used the filler and so. For Toastmaster for Toastmaster Foke, he used the fillers and well. And for Toastmaster Moyede repeated the words dreams and ambitions a few times. Then Toastmaster Amarachi repeated the words how, now, and always a few times. And Toastmaster Nduke repeated the word grow and it's. So that's a summary of what I observed today. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanta, for that listening skills. That's quite in-depth. At this point, last but not the least, I'd like to call the timer to share how well we fared with the use of our time in the course of the meeting.
Thank you very much, Madam Chief Evaluator. Right from the table topics, that's where my report kicks off. DTM, God knows 4, spoke for 1 minute, 41 seconds. Toastmaster Victor Afoke spoke for 1 minute, 49 seconds. Toastmaster Moyede spoke for 3 minutes and 3 seconds. While Toastmaster Amarachi Nwachukwu spoke for 47 seconds. Our trainer trained us for 19 minutes on the dot. During the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Ekwuchi spoke for 7 minutes, 26 seconds. Toastmaster Amarachi again spoke for 6 minutes, 31 seconds. Our chief evaluator evaluated the table topics for 6 minutes, 5 seconds. And our speech evaluators, Toastmaster Tari Adebisi, 4 minutes, 35 seconds. Toastmaster Tosin Olorunreke, 4 minutes, 44 seconds. And back to you, our chief evaluator.
Thank you so much, our timer, for today. At this point, I'd love to give my general evaluation report for this meeting. I would like to say, as usual, Pecten Toastmaster Club is always a place to be. I feel the meeting is usually authentic, original, and fresh. The end, I usually would always love the energy, and we didn't lose out on that in this meeting. I loved the way the Vice President Education went about the preparation of the meeting. She reached out to role players. I'll speak for myself. She reached out to me quite early, which was a great one. I also love the parenting that she put in the division group. It just goes ahead to confirm that, hey, this meeting is holding and then we've not canceled it. And so just be prepared and get ready to indulge in the meeting. I loved the fact that the sergeant at times, even at the beginning of the meeting, encouraged everybody to stay put. She was still giving prompter and telling us that, yes, the meeting is about to start, And then there were discussions that went on at the beginning of the meeting, which was great. I love the fact that the president gave a warm remark at the beginning of the meeting, and she also reassured us that Pecten Toastmasters Club is a safe space for everyone to get involved in the Toastmaster. She forgot to introduce the Toastmaster of the day. I don't know if it was because, no, it's fine, Toastmaster Tari. So I don't know if it's because the sergeant at arms double-hearted as the Toastmaster of the day, but then again, please next time do not forget, because it's not everyone on the call that know the sequence of a typical Toastmasters meeting. So you may not want to lose out on that. But your opening speech was quite brilliant. The Toastmaster of the day got elected and took the initiative to introduce herself, which was great and spot on. I loved her energy. She seamlessly transited through every session, which was quite great. I loved her use of humor in the course of her navigating the proceedings of today's meeting. Well done, Toastmaster SA. I also love the use of visual aid in Pecten Toastmasters Club. It just gives you that ease, laid back atmosphere, so you're not bothered about trying to scribble to your phone, trying to read someone's bio, and I loved that. I love that about the club. The area director visit. So yes, the area director too wasn't introduced. That was an oversight on the part of the Toastmaster of the day, so you may want to watch out for that next time. So try to introduce everyone appropriately and ensure that everything goes across board. The table topic session was great. It was centered around the team, which was quite interesting. And I also loved the way the table topic master went about that. I've given that evaluation, so I wouldn't want to go over that. The trainer, I don't think Toastmaster Nduke is still in the room, but that was a great session. I love the way she went about it. I've been in a training session. Okay, yes, madam. So I've actually gone through that training before, and to me it was like, oh no, this training here again. But then again, I love the way you went about it. You were spontaneous. You interacted with your audience. I love the fact that you walked your talk by ensuring that you volunteer to play roles in other clubs. I don't know if you've given consent to that of Toastmaster Tosin. So well done, Toastmaster Nduke. Our manual speeches were great. I felt the prepared speakers, they actually pressed premium on their clients. I say on their clients, sorry for that, on their audience when they came out to speak. I may just want to infuse one or two recommendations for both speakers. I noticed that their camera angle was not really good. And I would like to say that we try as much as we can to ensure we are in a virtual space. So in all that we do, we should ensure that our speeches too are virtual compliant. So you should have to ensure that your camera is capturing the major part of your body, so that when you're gesticulating, your audience can actually feel that. And then for Toastmaster Ekwuchi, you made this assumption twice. You said people already know. And even when you were introducing the word of the day, you said NIRVANA, you feel we already know. So I'd like to say that please, when you're connecting with your audience, do not assume that your audience already knows. Just go ahead and state your facts. And I think there was another opportunity lost when you were giving your speech, where you were enumerating the disorders. You didn't enumerate the disorders. You just went ahead and stated it. And I don't think that stuck quite deep. And for our second speaker, you were great. Also, your camera position, which your evaluator has already mentioned. Then I'll also like to state that your hand gestures were a bit uncontrollable at some point. When you use your hand gestures, you use them for emphasis purpose and not just moving them across board. But we had great speeches. I loved those speeches. I would also like to state something about this club, double hatting. The first time I double hatted, I actually told the person that told me to do that you see, double hatting, it can be very tricky if you're not a seasoned Toastmaster. I don't call myself to be a seasoned Toastmaster, but I want to, dove my hat for those who double hats. It's a tedious thing to do. So please try as much as possible to minimize the way we double hat, especially in meetings. So we could also afford other people opportunities to learn from other people can play role. Other people are given the opportunity, to learn from how other people play those roles. And you don't overcrowd one person with a particular role. That's it. And I also like to state the Zoom master, we had certain interruptions in the course of the meeting. Please, we may want to watch out for that. And yes, during the table topic session, please do not forget, let's meet our guests. Let's be very conscious of our guests. I would always say that, especially the fact that the area director said we need one new member. So you don't know if that member is in this meeting. But that being said, I love Pecten Toastmasters Club. And I'm not just saying it to patronize you, I'm saying it because I feel your meetings are always quality meeting, and you put everything, you invest preparation, your role players are always key, and just keep it up. It's a plus for the club, and keep the flag flying. At this point, it's the end of my evaluation report, and I would love to relinquish the lectern back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Eseoghene.
Wow, to borrow the terms of Toastmaster Grace Peter, evaluation will go Harvard. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Grace. We have absolutely noted all the feedback you have given. Thank you for giving us good suggestions to ensure that our meetings make everyone who attends meet a state of nirvana. We really like the feedback, especially as it pertains to how we handle our guests, and all who have attended this meeting today, I am sure have enjoyed learning and listening to you today. Thank you, our General Evaluator. Please, can we all put our hands together for Toastmaster Grace? You can also share love notes via the chat box. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Grace. I absolutely enjoyed your evaluation. Well, it is now time to officially say that the Toastmasters official meeting, please do not go yet. The official part of Toastmasters meeting, as I said in the beginning, we have had our wonderful table topic session. We listened to seasoned speakers during the manual speech session, and steering the wheel, Toastmaster Grace took us to a state of nirvana by helping us handle the evaluation session, which officially brings to a close the key phases of the Toastmasters meeting. I have been delighted to serve as the anchor in today's meeting, and it is with great pleasure I hand over the virtual lectern to the President, Toastmaster Tari, to finish the other part of the meeting. Please, our meeting is slated for 2 hours, so we still have about 10 minutes before the meeting elapses. So we will definitely be done by 6:15. Thank you, everyone. I am happy to have served, and may our dreams and ambitions continue to expand, exist, and actually turn to reality. Thank you, and it's over to you, our President, Toastmaster Tari.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Eseoghene, Okereka, Toastmaster of the day. That was exceptional. It was easy for you to navigate. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you prepare all the things you prepare and then still come to deliver this meeting seamlessly. And that was really impressive. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me, please?
Yes, we can. Please go ahead.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for this beautiful presentation as the Toastmaster of the day. And thank you to all the role players that played a role. I'd already said my thank yous in the chat. So thank you very much, everyone. Toastmaster Nduke, I don't know if you're still here, but thank you so much for delivering that exceptional lecture in an exceptional way. You got us talking. And I think that's the most important part of learning, that you actually are able to bring out something, from what you're hearing. That's the most important part. So thank you so much for visiting our club. I believe this is your first time in our club, right? Toastmaster Nduke.
Yes, but I've attended meetings with so many people on this call. So
yes, you've met with them outside of Pecten, but this is your first time in Pecten. So thank you so much. We enjoyed having you here. And I'm sure I'm not speaking for myself. We enjoyed having you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Toastmaster Grace Peter, our GE, thank you again and again. We call on you and you answer. Thank you very much. There's a baby saying hello to us here. Dari Linus. We welcome that child any day to Toastmasters. Thank you everyone who has attended today's meeting. I'll just quickly go over some announcements. Our next meeting will be in the month of June, because this is our second meeting for May, even though we still have like 2 more weeks to end. But our next meeting will be on the 6th of June, 2023. And shortly after that will be the Toastmaster Nigeria conference, which is the 7th to 8th, or is it 8th to 9th? I think 8th to 9th, which is the 8th to 9th of June, 2023. We will be putting up the flyers and the links for registration on our WhatsApp group. Toastmaster SA, our VP, please, if you have it, you can also put it on the chat box here, the link to that conference, so that those who haven't registered will register. This is the second time in history this is happening in Nigeria. The first one was last year. This is the second time, and it will be a great opportunity to see everyone there. Let us network. Let's meet ourselves in person. Let's network and meet ourselves and rub iron sharpens iron, as I always say. Let's sharpen our irons as we meet ourselves. So that will be the 8th to the 9th of June, 2 days after our next meeting. Right. Now, we're in the month of May. Next month will be June, and we're slowly coming to the end of this particular Toastmasters year. I'm sure some people will be heaving a sigh of relief, and others will now be apprehensive, like, okay, is it my turn? But then all good things must come to an end. As we draw close to the end, we have put together a nomination form. As members of Pecten Toastmasters Club, who would you like to see be your next Vice President Education, Vice President Membership, VPPR, Treasurer, Secretary, Sergeant at Arms? You have the opportunity to nominate who you think will fit that role, minus the role of the President, of course, who automatically is taken over by the Vice President Education. But who do you think should fill these particular roles? In front of you on the screen is the barcode. Scan the barcode. That form shouldn't take you more than 2 minutes to fill. So kindly do it. If you're seeing it now, kindly scan the barcode and do it now. Another link will be put on the WhatsApp group so that those who are not in today's meeting can also have the opportunity to vote their new leaders in. And as nominations come in, we will announce the date for the election. We'll have smooth elections, and then we'll have a smooth transition, which we call the change of guard. So this is what it is now. This is where we are now. If you are a guest and you're interested in joining Pecten Toastmasters Club, you like what you see, what you hear, please hit up any one of the EXCO members. I'm here. Toastmaster SA is the Vice President Education, Toastmaster Joy, the Vice President Membership, Toastmaster Kaine, the Treasurer, Toastmaster Amara, Vice President Public Relations, Toastmaster Ngozi Secretary, and Toastmaster Mufti Iboy is the Sergeant at Arms. Any one of us can give you any information you need. We'll be glad to have you in Pecten Toastmasters Club. That will be it from me. I don't think I'm leaving out any other announcement. We plan to have a face-to-face ceremony for the change of guards, as we always do. It probably will not be a 100% virtual meeting, so let's bear that in mind, and let's start making preparation towards that. It's going to be towards the end of June. Toastmaster SA, anything I've left out?
Nothing else.
Okay, so thank you so much, everyone who has joined. I know everyone here, nobody is a first timer, but please do well to invite somebody, a friend, a foe, to the next meeting we will have, and we will see you on the 6th of June, 2023. Special thanks, Nwachukwu. This is your first time playing a role, I believe. You did good. Thank you very much. And to every other
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great evening and take care of yourselves.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone.
Bye. Toastmaster Francis. Thank you,
Bye. Great time.
Toastmaster Kaine, we didn't hear your voice.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, people. Sorry, apologies. We didn't even announce our winner.
Toastmaster Iweji, well done, well done, well done. Bye, everyone.
Our table topics winner was distinguished Toastmaster God.
Ah, for goodness sake. Okay.
My laptop shut down, so I couldn't share. Well, well done to Toastmaster God.
Oh, is it still here? I think it's gone. Congratulations on Toastmaster 4, DTM 4. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a great week. Bye. Temoyede, bye.
This meeting is being recorded.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Mina.
Bye.
Does anyone want to attempt our tongue twister? Let me see. Does anyone want to attempt? Who wants to attempt? Who wants to attempt? Tim Kaine, we didn't hear your voice. So do you want to take our tongue twister before you go? As you can see you.
Let me wear my glasses.
Wear your glasses.
33,000 feathers on a thrush's throat. 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 33,000 feathers on a thrush's throat.
Wow. Well done. And it's so good to see you. Thank you. Take care and see you, everyone. Bye, everyone. Meeting is officially over. Bye.
Bye.